WandaVision is back for its second week, which is a bit weird considering they released 2 episodes in the first week, 3 episodes for some. Apparently reviewers got an extra episode early to review. I didn't get asked, which is outrageous. And yes, I have dressed like Indiana Jones for this episode because I'm losing my mind and have resorted to cosplaying for no reason whatsoever. WandaVision episode 3 is probably its strongest episode so far, which isn't exactly very hard considering there's only been 3 episodes. But episode 2 was really solid that I'm kind of surprised that we could top that already. But this episode is really good at getting the ball rolling and seeing where we're going to be going, where we're going with these characters, and where the plot's going. And I'm a really big fan of how they're structuring this series as a whole. We spent the 2 first episodes introducing us into this new phase and just sort of goofing around, and now in this 3rd episode we're really getting somewhere. The pacing is near damn perfect. We're not dilly-dallying all over the place, we're just getting on with it. We're getting to find out sort of big plot points in every episode, which is really satisfactory as a viewer. Although something happens in this specific episode which I'm kind of mixed about, because they don't take time to sort of explain it. It's just a big plot point that just happens. Doesn't even faze anybody. And yes, I know this is WandaVision. It's a weird and anything can happen series, but this specific thing that happened could have sparked some really interesting, some really intriguing conversation between the couple and even some of the people in the town. And I'm really sort of upset that we didn't get a moment like this. Maybe we do get a couple of conversations here and there, and they land really well, but I'd like to see the show question things a bit more, which is kind of ironic because the whole thing's a question, really. And I think these specific conversations hit so goddamn hard because of Elizabeth Olsen's performance in this episode. Holy cow, she was amazing. Her performance in one piece of dialogue alone created tension, confusion, and downright delusion. And this is really unsettling. I felt uncomfortable watching this, which is really cool. And this is definitely what they're going for. This is phase 4. In a phase where we're going to be having dimensional travel, we're going to be having to play Sam Raimi doing Doctor Strange, which is apparently going to be almost a horror movie. This is what we want, and sort of what we crave. We're done with playing around. Marvel is getting cool. And also because of her performance, it's why I go back to the point where I want more one-to-one conversations, because they're just so damn good to experience and watch. And I guess we are quite early on in the series, so we'll just have to wait and see if that's going to happen. One thing that recently I've been starting to love in entertainment and media products is playing around with aspect ratios. They do this a little bit in The Mandalorian, and it's so fun when they do. It's a great way to create feeling, and is also a great way to tell stories, which I didn't even think about. They use aspect ratios to create the idea of 2 sort of locations, and this isn't a spoiler because we know this from the trailers, but there's sort of 2 locations we could set this show in. The first one being their house and sort of the American sort of town, which we don't even know much about at the moment, and also sort of the real world. I quote that we don't really know what's going on there. But these 2 different places have different aspect ratios, and when we move into these different places, the aspect ratio changes, and it's just so cool. It's a great way to show that we've moved to a different place, there's a different tone between these 2 different places, and that the plot is going forward. The more the aspect ratios change, the deeper we go into the plot. This is show don't tell to like a whole new level, and I am in love. Mwah. The wardrobe of this episode is awesome. A big round of applause to anybody that worked in the costume department. Also, Paul Bettany's hair in this episode, oh my god, it's amazing. I think they've done a great job at creating an authentic look for the show. When it comes to creating a period piece, having a wardrobe that's really accurate and authentic is a great way of making it convincing, and I think they do this quite convincingly. Although I'm not so much of a wardrobe nerd as some other people, so please do comment down below if I am getting any of this wrong. It might not even be that accurate, but I feel like it's fooled me. In this episode, we're still playing around with the fish out of water, and it's taken to like a whole new and better level in this episode. The writers seem to have narrowed it down in every episode to be something specific that they're getting used to. Unlike the first 2 episodes where we're sort of all over the place, which is fine because we're introducing this whole new show and they're throwing in a load of new jokes, in this episode we're specifically on one thing. Having the jokes be centered on this just creates a more coherent and, in my opinion, more entertaining piece of media, because we can spend longer on the jokes instead of delivering a joke and then run off to deliver the next joke. Lastly, I think this show raises questions on the borderline of okay. We are 3 episodes in and we're being like drip fed small questions over time, and this is a great way of doing this. Some of these questions could even be answered by some diehard fans possibly. For now, we're doing good. If they do something like, let's say, Tenet and have huge questions that just overwhelm the audience, then I don't think we're doing that well anymore. Like, Tenet is a really good film, but it's hella confusing, and for no good reason. Like Nolan, we aren't idiots, we just like to enjoy cinema. We don't want to come out of the cinema going, what the hell did I just watch? Having an audience be curious about your piece of entertainment is desired. Having them be confused as all hell, not so. We're definitely dealing with the fact of being overwhelmed by a series. I just hope we don't get that, because so far we're doing really well. Okay, again, that was my review and also ramblings on WandaVision episode 3. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this new episode. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? What do you want to see from this show? And also any theories down below. Very much interested to hear those. Like and subscribe as usual, and can you do me one more thing? Can you have a great day? Thank you.